Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is about the CN and Getline. This is actually just a continuation of the previous topic, and we will be discussing more about the Getline and the difference between the two, CN and the Getline. So these are the topics. What is CIN or CN and the Getline? We're going to differentiate between the CN and the Getline. You will also learn how to apply it in a program. Alright. So what is exactly a CN? In C++, it's actually called a console input. So if we're going to define the CN, or others would try to read the CIN, that is an instant of input stream class. The object is actually related to the standard input device using your keyboard, and it works with the stream extraction operator. In this case, we will be using this symbol. This is what we call extraction operator. Okay, so let's have an example here. We have, this is how you're going to write a very simple problem, which is asking the user to enter a name. And in this case, we will be asking the user to input or enter a name. And we add here the variable name called name. And since we're asking the user to enter, we will be using the CN, console input. And we're going to extract the value you have entered. So if you use that, we need to use the data type char, or referring to character, where our variable name is name and the size of the variable or the character is up to 20. So this is what we call the array size. That refers to the variable name, meaning up to the maximum of 20, but of course it can only read up to 19, because if you will be reading the character here is starting to read 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 19, but there will be a separate topic discussing on the array. So after you read the name, then example here, enter your name, then Jana, that's the name, and it will display the output, which is your name is Jana, because it will try to call up the value of the name. Okay, whatever you have entered here, example Joy, then it will also display here as your name is Joy. That's how the user input works. Alright, so try to look up the code again, try to analyze, especially for those who didn't understand the use of CIN. Let's proceed now with the getLine. So what is a getLine? GetLine is actually a standard library function in the string header file, and it can help to read the string. Remember, this is for string or a line from the input stream. So this function obtains characters from the input stream and appends it to the string object until it receives a new line character, meaning you cannot use the getLine for numbers. If example, you will input 1, 3 or any numbers or any other characters, because it can only accept string unless you will convert the number into string, then you can use it. Is that clear? Let's have the example here. As you notice, in our example, we use this string as our data type for our name instead of character, and there are some compilers where you need to include in the header the string, and in this case we use the getLine here, and there's also word CN, so remember it's only for the string. Okay, so we have the value of CIN inside our parameter, which is the CIN and the name. So these are, we have two parameters here, and in your declaration, which is the name, and example, my output here, if I enter Jana, enter your name Jana, Then it will proceed to the next line because of the slash n, and it would say hello. Then we'll call up what you entered, Jana. Hello, Jana, because whatever you input there in the value of name, just like this, enter your name, Jana, and then it would say hello, Jana. Sorry, I was not able to capture on this part. Okay, so it would be included in the output, which is hello, Jana, because we call up here the value of name. Whatever you have entered here, either Joy, Jassy, Jan, Jack, Jim, then it will be displayed as well here in the output. Okay, so you need to try to experiment on this one. Don't forget that the get line is only applicable for the string. Okay, if ever you will use it for a number, then you will get an error. And if you will change this one into char then name, you will also get an error because it will not recognize the word get line, because get line is a function. So if we're going to compare the two, CIN and the get line, the CIN or CIN is an object in C++ of the class input stream that accepts input from the standard keyboard or input device, while the get line, well, what do you think is the difference between the CN? Can you guess? Well, the standard library function, so getLine is a function in C++ and is used to read a string or a line from the input stream. So it's very clear. So it's very clear. CIN is an object and the getLine is a function. Okay, that's very clear. Take note of that one. And CIN has no parameters, while the getLine accepts parameters. So you can remember in the previous slide where we have the CIN or CIN and the name as the parameters. Going back in here, we have the CIN and name. So these are what we call the parameters. Okay, now try to analyze this one. Don't forget. And if you have any more questions, you can try to look up this into website and you can do advanced reading if you want to know more. Okay, so these are the websites that you can get additional information where I also get this lecture. Okay, so if you have any questions, you just type in the comment or practice as well on how to write a program using the getLine and the CN. So that would be all for today and have a nice day.